Warning. The following program contains elements of nuance, sarcasm, and satire. If you are unfamiliar with these terms, it's highly suggested you pick up a dictionary or do a quick Google search. Some names have been redacted to protect the identities of all parties involved. Listener discretion advised.
Comedy Sim, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist. Spitting fire on the mic.
All right. Welcome to the Comedy Sim podcast with Steven and Rob.
Robin Good.
Robin Good is here. Man, let me tell you something. The other night, last week, I performed at Tacoma Comedy Club for almost 100 people.
Congrats.
And I am more excited to be here right now
Oh, wow.
than I was
Amazing.
to be there in
Or
front of
sad.
those people.
Yeah, that's very sad for you.
This is I didn't think that we were going to sit down again. So I'm very excited,
Yeah.
man.
You should always keep an open mind.
Yes.
in life.
You just never know, you know. You're going to quit, you're going to come back.
Of course. It's just a cycle, you know.
But let's see, man. The last time kind of before you were on the podcast, we were going to do the Stand on Business show.
Oh, that was
And then,
great show. Good night.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we had a little thing that happened and
Crashed my brand new car.
yeah, the car was gone.
Yeah.
And understandably, you didn't feel like being funny that night, which I get. But then, some stuff happened, and some friends got mad at some other friends, and hadn't seen you for a while. But
yeah, it's like high school kind of.
yeah.
But now we're in college. And everything's cool.
But it's I've met a lot of people in comedy. I feel like I have a good amount of friends. But I don't know what it is, man. Something about you. I just feel like we have this thing about us where we're like lower middle class Caucasians that deserve to be in the 1%.
I thought you said cuck. I thought you were about to say cuck.
No,
Lower middle class cuck.
No. We deserve to be in the 1%. We were born in the wrong family.
No, I agree.
You know?
I identify as an elite.
Yeah, absolutely.
honest with you.
I'm ready. I'm ready to join the elites. I'm ready to go to the parties.
Yeah.
I'm ready to drink the adrenochrome, and give my soul to Moloch.
You can actually, I think you can buy synthetic adrenochrome online.
Synthetic?
I want to at least try that first just
Yeah.
to see what it's like.
I mean,
I know it's going to be way better when it's coming from like scared little
migrant children.
migrant
yeah,
children,
yeah, because, where else are you going to source it? Now
Right.
that everybody's in the know and knowing what's going on.
That's the thing. Now that Trump's elected, he's going to take all that down. And so we're going to have to start our own like secret child trafficking ring.
My God, man. The response that we have gotten from this election has been overwhelmingly just
Not that exciting,
Yeah.
I think.
well, it feels different. It feels different than 2016,
No, it does. Nobody rioted.
No.
I mean, there's a few bombings here and there. Big whoop.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's actually interesting, too. There was, 2 terrorist attacks this year, like on New Year's or whatever?
Yeah. There was one
So I
in
think they're just
New
waiting.
Orleans, right? There was
Yeah.
somebody drove a thing, and then there was the explosion in front of Trump in the Cybertruck.
Yeah, and I was surprised the guy who did it. You'd think it would be like, I thought it'd obviously be like a Muslim or something, but it was like it was just like a military guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a Trump voter.
Oh, man. So I know you're not supposed to believe everything you read on Reddit, but I read the manifesto of the guy who supposedly, this is the supposed manifesto, the guy that blew up the Cybertruck. And I don't have it in front of me, so I can't really tell you word for word. But basically, this is what the gist of the email was. He starts off by saying, I'm not under any duress. Nobody is making me do this.
Oh, that
I'm not
already
mentally
sounds
ill.
fucked.
Yeah. But then he goes in to talk about the drones that are on the East Coast that have been showing up in the air.
Yeah.
Some of them as big as cars. In this manifesto, he says they are drones from China. China has had some sort of an advanced drone technology for a very long time. America has had the same technology, and now China is showing some sort of a force. They're showing force. The Chinese drones are showing force against us. And in this email, he also talks about like war crimes that he committed in the Middle East, and he was part of these different things, and that he's only doing this to get it out there and let everybody know what's going on.
Okay.
So, what do you think?
I mean, I don't like it. There's no aliens involved.
Yeah, no.
Like, that part sucks. And then I was also thinking, like, I don't know. It seems like we do live in, like, a lame time. I mean, how much cooler would it be if, like, this is before drone times and, like, China just sent its, like, strongest Chinamen.
Yeah, like,
to, like,
Mao
flex.
Yang. What was that guy? Mao Yang, that basketball player?
Or one of that guy that can eat, the Chinese dude who's hella skinny, but he can eat, like, 500 hot dogs.
Oh, yeah, God.
Like, what if they Chinese just sent its best, like, hot dog eaters, basketball players, and they just came and flexed on us? That's so much cooler than, like, oh, our drones are cooler. Like,
Kobayashi, that's his name. Kobayashi, the
Kobe.
Is he even Chinese? He might be Japanese.
I mean,
I don't know.
it doesn't matter. It's all the same.
Kobe.
I actually, that's my conspiracy. I think that China and Japan are the same place.
I mean, it's kind of true.
How do we know that it's not?
If you take a white person from Kentucky and put them in the middle of Taiwan, do you think they're going to know the difference? Probably not.
No, they're not. Yeah,
because of the American education system.
Right. So much better.
So yeah, man, the bombings, we had the election, and then the rise of Elon Musk and dark MAGA.
Yeah.
What do you think, Elon? I mean, everybody hates Elon Musk
I
now.
don't like him either, and I lean pretty conservative. I think. I mean, I don't really go either way, obviously, as you know, but if anything, I'm more conservative than liberal as far as just like what I like to watch and
again.
But
another reason why I like being around you, because I am not a liberal gay, even though I look like one.
Yeah.
Even though I hang out with them.
Well, you definitely like suck a liberal gay's dick for like a comedy
but it's for
show.
America.
Yeah.
You know, it's an American. I only suck conservative dicks.
Oh,
okay?
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, did you hear Andrew Tate is running for UK Prime Minister?
Well, I mean,
that's like
maybe he can go to Canada because Trudeau just stepped down, and
that's actually a better idea.
He would be a great. And you know, Trump today said that he wants Canada to be part of the United States.
Idea.
You know, so I don't know. What do you?
I don't know. I think that I don't see Andrew Tate would be like Canada is a bullshit country. Like he'd be like, there's no. He wouldn't like Canada. He wouldn't run. He would call Canada like gay, but also Andrew Tate thinks everything's gay.
Yeah.
He's like men shouldn't breathe because that's keeping another man alive, which is gay.
Fuck that. What about what's our boy from Canada? You know, the Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Oh, my favorite.
He could be a great prime minister.
That guy. Okay, so here's the thing, though. So the more conservative stuff that I watch, I used to be more conservative. I'm not anything now because these people.
Nothing
are
matters.
clowns.
That's why everybody's an idiot.
Like, I don't really like Elon. I don't like Jordan Peterson. Is a fucking weirdo. He's just like
He's like talks like this, and he's just
like,
a real.
You need to make sure you clean your room every day. And
you cannot be a real man unless you have a child.
My room too, because I'm so high on Xanax.
If you don't love something more than yourself, you can never be a real man.
The Bible is so important because it's like well, who are you without it?
Meanwhile, he's just all zanned out, man.
Zanny barred the fuck out.
Yeah. He's like, I can't sleep because I'm just so hyped up.
I
want to
see that guy. That guy needs to hit some whippets just to get his voice a little bit lower.
Yeah. I heard he's also on the carnivore diet, but he looks like he's on the meth diet. You know? Like,
and that's another thing too. He okay. A lot of these guys, people that we respect, you like Joe Rogan. That guy, people are like, oh, he's the epitome of. He looks like he's fucking. He looks like a fucking paper bag, like draped over, like his. I don't know.
Look,
he's just like he looks like a deflated basketball That's what he
if
looks
not
like.
for Joe Rogan, I wouldn't know about a lot of comedians. He's a great podcaster,
But he's a bad health influencer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
don't
like,
listen to that guy that looks like that. He's like a gray
he's
sack.
like he's 5'3", and he's got that testosterone gut, which is
and he's
just
got
like
huge nipples.
Yeah.
Like, his nipples are like fingers.
Yeah, and then like I know he was making Chris DiStefano smell his armpits just last week. You know, like. I don't know, man.
That's okay. That's talking about Elon Musk too. So another reason, so like that's what I'm saying. I would watch these guys, and I was like 2 years ago. I was like, oh, these guys they got some good points. Jordan Peterson, make your bed, great guy. Bible, cool. But now they're just like these guys suck.
Yeah, they're all pretty terrible.
Yeah,
It's,
so anyways, Joe Rogan. He has this rule. Like I've listened to a bunch of podcasts, and he's like, no eating on my podcast.
Yeah,
like I don't like the sound. Elon Musk comes on his podcast. He's like, can we order a pizza? And he's like, yes, Master Elon. And they order a pizza, and they eat the fucking pizza and slop it down. And first of all, back to the health thing. Why are you eating pizza, Joe Rogan? You're supposed to be the health guy.
I will say, though, one of the funnest things about Elon turning dark is all of the liberal people who bought Teslas and now just hate them and don't want to be in them and are embarrassed to drive
get
around
me out
in
of this. Put me in the biggest gas guzzler. Basically, what we need to understand is like no human being, especially anybody rich, all your leaders, liberal, conservative, they're all bad.
Yeah.
And they're going to turn more bad as they like figure out that you worship them. It doesn't matter if it's Jordan Peterson or Rachel Maddow or any of these people. I don't know why I picked her. I don't know that many liberal people, so I always think of Rachel Maddow. Oh, yeah.
Bernie Sanders.
I like AOC. She's hot.
Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't follow tons of politics, but wasn't Pete Buttigieg a mayor? He went from being a mayor of a small town to being like gay political icon.
Yeah.
You know, he's the next Harvey Milk. You know, just
He's
milking people left and right.
Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. Everyone's like, he's gonna run in 2028, you know, but
I like who's that one guy that Trump, I don't even remember his name or what he was even elected, but Trump's like put him in the cabinet and then he was like a Fox News guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, but now he's like a womanizing. It's like,
what about that Matt Gaetz? Matt Gaetz was gonna be, I think that's his name, right?
Maybe.
Well, there was some guy that he was going to put into office, and they're like, oh, actually, this guy's a pedophile.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you want pedophiles in office. Those are the best leaders, I think. That's back to that, you know, adrenochrome, power dynamic stuff. You want womanizing pedophiles to guide you. That's what I found. I feel like the best people with the most influence are like the most evil, but they're going to tell you stuff that you should listen to.
I'll tell you.
Do in your own life.
This is why.
Do as I say, not as I do.
This is why the world is terrible now. Because when we were in the dark, people like Epstein and Diddy were just entertaining all of the influencers out there, and everybody was having a good time.
We liked the and now we're
now
like
nobody
confused.
can have a good time. It's
like when you find out your dad is like a second family.
Yeah.
And the second family is like 7-year-olds.
Santa Claus isn't real. AIDS didn't come from monkeys.
What would you rather have be true? Santa Claus? Like, what if I told you Santa Claus is real, but he's actually the leader of the Diddy trafficking ring?
Oh,
would
man.
you be
but
like okay with that?
It's tough because there's a lot of kids that get toys every year, and
that's why no one's ever on the naughty. He's like the naughty list is for like him to fuck.
You know,
he makes the list because he's like, oh, you've been a naughty.
The reason
girl.
I voted for Trump was because I really examined the needs of the many versus the needs of the few, and you know, the majority needs help. People, that's why we need somebody who can make deals with
Trump.
Russia.
Yeah.
You know. Why not?
Here's another great thing about Trump, actually. So I work at Zeke's Pizza. It's a very
conservative pizza place.
No, it's definitely not conservative. We have more trans employees than regular.
Wow.
So, that's actually been very. It's been helping me. Assimilate. But anyways,
open-minded,
very woke business. And also, another thing that was cool about it is like I literally got out of comedy, started working at Zeke's. Everybody there is my friend. They like me. I don't hold myself back. So it's like I realized all these woke asshole trans people that are mean to you and stuff, they're just in the comedy scene, really. Regular people are just regular, it's whatever, they want to have a good time too, and they know I'm joking. Anyways, I said something about how Indians don't tip, and my boss was like, whoa, be careful what you say. And I was like, first of all, that's not racist, it's just a true fact.
Yeah.
And then second of all, even if it was racist, who cares? And then he goes, yeah, and Trump's president now, so really doesn't matter. I'm like, cool, man. So like now that Trump's president, according to my woke boss, we're allowed to be racist.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the culture now. Like it's like what we say back then. We can't change the past. That's just how it was, you know?
Yeah. Now we can't change the future. The future is racism. The future was women, but now it's racism.
And the future is
and
also
you could be a racist
and autism.
woman.
Autism is also the racism and autism will be side by side. It'll be like Trump and Vance, Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, Trump and
Batman
Elon.
Robin.
Trump and Elon. Racism, autism.
There you go. You know that is the
that
key
is a metaphor for
to
everything.
success.
Yeah. But the more that I actually think about
bringing
stuff,
America back,
all the weird fuckers. I'm 38. I've met so many weird assholes. Like, I don't believe in autism. I think everybody is a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
And, like, the more you get to know, even just, like, the most normal seeming guy, they're just better at wearing a mask. So, like, all autism is just, like, people who are bad at performative pageantry that humans don't even really do.
Well, I'm a dad. I got a kid, and she went through the whole autism test, and
it was just a phase.
Yeah, it was just a phase.
Autism's just a phase, motherfucker.
But as a dad and going to these school things, I realized every single kid is that way.
Yeah.
They're either autistic or ADHD, and it's like so general. Like, I feel like we were just that, you know. And then now they're like, oh, we're gonna diagnose you with this.
Right. We just want.
But we've always.
Everything.
I feel like we'd always been that way, you know.
We're
like
just people. I mean, obviously there are some people that are like, you bang some pots and they're like,
yeah.
But I feel like that too could be nurture. I mean.
But I feel like everybody is using autism and ADHD as an excuse for their bad behavior
and have a TikTok
or their
account.
laziness.
Yeah.
You know, like
they're like, "Hi, I'm TikTok influencer, autistic, ADHD, and like I'm here to teach you how to handle regular life." And it's like always bad advice too. I'd rather listen to Andrew Tate than these motherfuckers.
Well, I mean, I'll go like Reddit. I've been on Reddit too much, man. It's like driving me
Sounds
crazy.
like
But there's this.
But it sounds like you're getting some good information.
There's this subreddit that I've found called anti-work, and it's people who just bitch about their jobs.
Oh, I've heard about that.
And honestly, half of the people are like, I'm autistic, ADHD, depressed, on meds, and I can't work because of it. And I'm like, well, then what are you doing with yourself?
Go to Zeke's,
like, you know,
we're hiring trans people.
Exactly.
We love depressed, trans, medicated fuckers. Come on down. And it pays pretty well.
I think look, we can joke about trans people and all that, but it's pretty cool that Zeke's is like willing to do that because there are some places that don't even want you to have dyed hair.
Yeah.
Don't want you to show your tattoos in 2025.
I love it. And like I said, too, it was good for me to like really... Because I was falling for even though, I mean, I was like, I'm immune to it. I was still sort of falling towards this like us versus them thing. And it was mostly comedy scene's fault. It wasn't like the stuff I was listening to. And then once I got around like these actual people, I'm like, oh, nothing's changed. Like, these are just gay people and trans people, just like they always have been. It's just these overly vocal, like
people with not a sense of humor, basically.
Freaks. Yeah, that happen to be in the comedy scene.
There are some comics that are trans that are actually really funny.
Oh, of course.
There is this girl, you might not know her, named Allie something. She's always at a comedy bar, but I hate her. Well, she doesn't know this, but I made up the nickname SheJ because all she talks about is getting fucked up and doing ketamine and getting her dick sucked in the bathroom at a random bar. And she's pretty wild, you know. Born a boy, but
I figured with the getting her dick sucked.
She's a girl now, you know, and good for her. I mean, and she's pretty funny. There's some other people out there that I might not find funny, but they're successful. They're out there doing that stuff. And that's something I've started to find out in comedy, which you tried to warn me about, that it really doesn't matter how funny you are.
Yeah.
It's about how much people like you and they want to be around you and they want to put you on their stuff.
Yeah. It's all about politics.
And I also think that there's just some people that are afraid of what you might say.
Yeah,
you know, like people are like, Rob, we don't want you at the Shanghai room. You might make somebody upset.
Well, the one weirdest thing, too, that I still think is insane was, like, even producing shows. We were, like, doing DEI stuff. Like everybody producer I know, I would produce a show and like,
Yeah.
well, we got to make sure we got a girl. We got
black
to make
guy.
sure we got a black.
Yeah, we gotta have a gay person or.
It's like, how does that feel to be the girl or the black who you're just like you're the one black guy on the show, and it's just like it's not because you're not fun. It's not because you're funny. It's because we already had Keon Larry on last week.
Yeah, and
now we need a new black.
yeah. Look, Keon and JoJo can only do so many shows in Seattle. We need some people from Tacoma
we
to
need
come.
some new blacks.
Now, there was this guy, Jonte Osler. He came out to Whiskey Mountain.
That just sounds like a funny guy.
Yeah, it's a great. Yeah, he's got a good.
Jonte Osler.
Yeah,
That's like I just know that guy.
Yeah.
That's a headliner right
Yeah,
there.
he's good, man.
Jonte.
I've talked about this before, man. Black comedy is just it's another world.
It's my favorite comedy. And guess what? I can go to a black comedy and they'll be like, oh, that goofy white boy. And then I'll do the same jokes in Kirkland.
Yeah.
And they'll boo me.
I want to be the white guy at the black comedy show, like
nice.
Matt Rife. That's all I can think of right now. Robin Good, But yeah, there's this guy, Bo Blast in Tacoma. He puts on stuff. And
Bo Blast. That sounds like a...
That's another, all the...
Black people have the coolest names.
They do. There was
really
another guy, Cash Moore. I saw him. He was the host for Greg Fitzsimmons.
Cashmore.
Yeah. Femi.
That's the best one.
Yes. That is the name, man.
Yeah.
I had a joke about that. I miss El Maj. Remember him? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's like doing comedy in like Wisconsin or something.
Minnesota.
Yeah. What's up with these guys, like these funny motherfuckers leaving Seattle to like the Midwest? They're like, it's like they're going the opposite gold.
Yeah. I mean, they got to be a bigger fish in a smaller pond, or either that or they're just tired of it. But
yeah, that makes more sense. Like, oh fuck, but they still can't help. Just like me, I'm like, here I am back to it. I mean, whatever.
How are you feeling about it? I mean, look,
I'm gonna dude, I'm not taking this a damn bit seriously at all.
I would say, I mean, you can help fill in the gaps here. I saw you do comedy kind of in the beginning, first few months of the year. And then the next time I saw you was like in the summer, and you were at Tony V's.
Yeah.
You brought like some chick there, and gave me a little head nod and stuff like that. So I saw you, and then have you done much comedy
I would go
since
back.
then?
I went to Tony V's a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I did Tapped Out. I mean, but like I've actually like I'm gonna be doing a comedy like a mic like at least once a week. I went to the Shanghai Room. They didn't put me up obviously, but April was trying to get me back up.
Why? I just don't.
I don't know. April said that it's possible that I could go back. Like, if I were to sign up, they might just. But also, I feel so when I went to Whiskey Mile, like Dino Dad was like, he was nice, but he I feel like he was like the least happy to see me.
Yeah.
He was like, oh hey, and it was like this like cringy handshake. So I just feel like that atmosphere might not be like they're not. It's not like they don't want me there, but it's just sort of like they'd rather not me there. So and there's no point, and I don't really feel like. I need to build back my reputation so I can get on stage at the Shanghai Room, So,
yeah, I mean, I've been there a lot of times, and it's just not. I don't really feel fulfilled after I perform there.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
I feel like I even remember, and I feel like it was all heading this direction, but of course it was. I made it the most dramatic way possible, but I remember going there and just being really depressed. Like everyone was like so happy to see me. This is before any of this stuff happened. But I was just like, and I was already, I was going into a dark place, but I was like just super depressed. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. Everyone's so happy. But I just felt like I was like, the Shanghai Room is like, if you're on the path of like comedy, you take like a left-hand turn and you just hit this dead end called the Shanghai Room.
Yeah.
And then it like fucking overgrows and you can't leave. And so like, I just felt like I was just stuck in this like horrible little world. And I think like, that's like part of the reason why it all kind of fell apart. Because I would go there and be a dick. I remember one time I got like hella drunk and I was like drinking like, I snuck in a bunch of Trulies and like had them under the table. And nobody caught me, but PJ was just like, what the fuck were you doing, dude? I was like, it doesn't matter. Fuck everything.
Yeah. He's like, hell yeah. Oh, man.
Like, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Femi was making Femi thought it was crazy. It was good times.
It's a lot,
I miss those days.
Things have changed so much in the last couple years.
Oh, and they always will.
All these mics, they start up, they shut down. People die.
I shouldn't have laughed at that. Oh, and then I remember. So you sent me that really long post you made where you're like, I'm so happy to be in comedy, and like this thing happened, and then you're like the loss of my friend, and I'm like, who is he talking about me? And then I was like, oh wait, of course not.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was pretty like self-absorbed to me. Like, what are you talking about? You didn't lose me as a friend.
Well,
you were talking about.
I appreciate that. It's
But you weren't even talking about
the
that.
hardest thing is I want to be friends with everybody, but you can't. Some people
a friend of everybody is a friend of no one.
Yeah.
They say.
And some people are just not gonna like you, which
Yeah.
whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, man. So you're doing comedy now, and you're just taking it easy. So how is the last few months? I mean, you were doing it every week, every other week?
No, I wasn't. I would go like basically. I mean, it's.
And I know you went to Hawaii too. So
yeah, Hawaii was fun. But yeah, no, I wasn't doing it every week. This my new thing right now is I'm like trying to get I've been like saving my money. Like I've been doing like working out every day. I've been like trying to get in a routine, and I decided part of that routine is going to be do one podcast a week and then do one open mic a week at the minimum.
And one bender. One bender a week.
One bender a month.
Yeah.
A month. Because a one bender a week can take like 3 days.
Yeah.
Like a 3-day thing.
And you got to work. You got bills. How you got to pay for this palace if you can't?
Yeah,
If you don't have a
exactly.
job, so.
How am I going to pay for all my whores?
So, yeah, no goals, though. You're just like, I'm just going to
No
take
goals,
it easy.
dude. Why have goals? I mean, like, I'm looking at everybody with goals, and they're just in the same place I left them.
Yeah.
Like, it's like comedy. I'm sure that there's people that are doing some stuff.
Yeah,
But like, ultimately, I think it's better to do something because you like to do it than, like, for the results.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I really was trying to get an audition at Laughs Comedy Club, and then after a year, they replied to me, and they're like, "Your first joke didn't really get a lot of laughs," and then the lady, I don't know her name, but she started to talk about like, if the joke doesn't work, you either take it out or rework it till it does. I'm like, I did not ask for comedy advice from some lady. I was like, you either let me perform or not.
Right.
And
now, if it was a man.
yeah. If it was the guy with cerebral palsy, he would have loved it. But
no, that guy, and it's so funny, dude. I mean, Laughs is a funny one too. I sent them my last email. I sent them was because they stopped. First of all, I remember I had that.
Yeah, you had the show with Ryan Padilla.
Ryan Padilla. I chose that one because it was like a show I did with him.
Well, it was a big show. You made some money. It was your friend. It was not like the Laughs shows are cool, but it's just a show. It's not
and then
personal.
they said they were okay with it, but then they never responded to me. So then the last one, I sent this long message. I was like, if you don't, I was like, I've sent you 4 messages, and I'm going to send my day's open, and I'm going to send you a message every day at 5:05 p.m. until you respond. And then I did that for like 3 days, and then I gave up.
It worked for David, man. It worked for
Oh, David. Yeah, that was so funny.
Poor
that
David.
Guy moved to New York. I hear New York's a shithole.
Yeah,
People you can't even take the subway without possibly dying.
Being pushed off the ledge or getting set on fire. But he'll be all right. He's kind of
He's the pusher.
He's kind of a low-key criminal.
Yeah,
you know?
he's the guy doing the pushing. Not the
so he's pushed. Somehow, I mean, I don't know what he does for work, but he's always got something. Yeah, I was like, he's always got food. He's always got money. He's always got weed. So he's figuring it out.
I know,
but not his kids. He doesn't have his kids. Sorry, David, but you're not watching this anyways.
You might. You never know with these people. It's like that's another thing. Okay, so there was somebody who I mentioned like on a podcast, and I said like I forgot. I don't even remember. It was just some like dumb shit. But then they found out that I did podcasts, and then they started like watching like all of them.
Yeah.
And then they heard the part where I was like talking really mad shit. And then I had some explaining to do. So it's like you gotta be careful.
Was it Rachel? Yeah.
No, but
where
I wouldn't care about her.
Where she said that she looked like a
White Claw.
A White Claw. Yeah.
Whatever happened to Rachel? Yeah.
I think she had a kid. I don't really know her. I think I saw her one time, and she bombed really bad.
Of course.
At like a one-hop shop, and then
it was like like I said in my story too. I had a bad taste in my mouth because I'd been doing comedy for like 2 weeks. I went up there. I killed it, but I didn't tell any jokes. I just went up there and like rambled. And it was the first time I ever got like consistent laughs for 5 minutes, and I was so happy. And then she goes up and she's like, "Somebody did really well for the first time. No punchlines though.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa! What? Like it actually hurt me at the time. I was like so proud of myself, and then some bitch has to come up.
Yeah.
Like after it's like, and then it's like
Always trying to bring the white man down.
yeah, just because you have punchlines.
Yeah.
No one laughs though.
Just because you have lines of bruises from being punched.
Yes.
Doesn't
There's
mean
a
you're an
punchline.
expert.
See what I'm saying
you know?
about punchlines? They're not always the best.
Unless we're talking about the Punchline Comedy Club in Sacramento, which we are both available to be booked.
I'm
if
going
you guys are
to
listening.
San Diego.
Oh, nice. Get see Wes,
Yeah.
Wes and
Supposedly
Joey,
he's gonna put me on some shows, but
American Comedy Company or something like that. Yeah.
But he had me write a review for him. He's like, could you
Oh, he
write-
wanted me to
could
do
you
that
write a
too.
review?
He's all, say that I served you.
Yeah. I did too. I like lied about it. Yeah, I was like, me and my wife went down there and we were having the worst time ever. But then Wes came to our table and just made us brightened our day.
Yeah. I mean, he probably could cheer you up if you were feeling shitty. You know, he could probably just
It depends on
show up like a fairy god
It depends
stoner.
on
you know?
it really depends on what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
Like if you're Jordan Peterson, you might not like him.
Wow. Yeah, he came up. He did a little feature when. That was. Like I said, I've been listening to the podcast. You know, kind of. You know, every once in a while, and I listened to the one that he was on, and yeah, everyone was like, I feel like everyone was ragging on him or something like that. So I don't know.
I mean, that's what Wes is for. He's like a fucking human punching
Yeah,
guy.
but then
He's like, oh,
but then it felt like
I do suck.
He felt like he was like not with it either. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's too bad. That's another tough thing sometimes about just human dynamics. Like someone like Wes, like I always would just brag on Wes, just make fun of him, but he would laugh, and he's never even once said like, "Hey man, I'm a piece of shit." But I think there was one time where I was like really grilling him, and then like he made a comment that was like self-deprecating, but in like a depressed sounding way, and then I was like, "Oh shit!" Like you got to be careful sometimes. Some people, you know, like I'm just like telling this guy he's like a total fucking loser, and like we're having a great time, but like, hey, this could be hurting his feelings.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's really cool to have, like, friends and stuff in other cities because if you really want to go do that kind of stuff, it's...
I know. I need more friends to move away so I can go on these vacations.
Time to leave. I won't be moving, but, I've had... Because of this whole Whiskey Mile thing, I've had a lot of people, like, email me, like, hey, can I come feature this time?
Yeah,
this time? And so, I've had people like, hey, come down to Portland, I'll put you up and all that, but...
That's the one nice thing about producing shows is you kind of become like this instant. It's almost like a cheat code.
Yeah.
You like
everybody wants to have.
Yeah, but nobody. Yeah, it's you don't even have to be funny anymore. You can just get on shows. And it's pretty cool.
I've been on some pretty crazy shows, you know. But yeah,
well, I'm down to be on the Taser show.
Oh yeah, so Logan Cantrell, Mason A, Macy O, the three guys from Tacoma Comedy Club. They do a lot of stuff down there. They work down there, and they're putting on a new show starting Mondays. Starting on the 13th. This could be every Monday, and it's going to be like some wild kind of variety show, and they're going to film. Mason is, he films a lot of, maybe, you know, or it's like dildo.
Yeah,
dildo.
How far each time?
It's the dildo show. You
have
know,
to do
like
5
there's the
minutes,
shroom show, and then there's the dildo show.
Does the shroom show still exist?
I mean, it exists in our hearts.
Yeah.
You know, like we could, if we want to bring it back, we could. But I feel like if it was to come back, we should produce it because, you know, I've seen a lot of shitty flyers for that, and it's a cool concept, but I just feel like it could be presented.
It worked out. I mean, the first one we did got like 100, and then I left it, and it seemed like it kept getting like.
It went down to Oregon, you know, stuff like that.
But I would do it again. I just, I mean, I don't know though. I'm like, I feel like I'm telling you, I turned 38, and like, just it's not even like this isn't like a mental thing, like, or it is, but it's not like I'm like, oh, I have to be more responsible. It's just like all of a sudden, I'm not really into psychedelics anymore. I'm a different guy. I'm not against them, but I'm just, I don't know. They just like, I'd rather like go to the sauna and like be healthy and drink water. And it's not like, and I really don't like this. Like I had to go through this like 2-month period where I felt like the universe was like taking away something from me because like I didn't really like drinking anymore. I didn't like ketamine anymore, and it's just like I felt like I was like literally being robbed of everything that like gave me hope.
He was robbed
But
of good.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
robbed of good.
Yeah.
It's all Robin Good's fault. But yeah, man, it turned out to be like more of a blessing than a curse. It's still a little bit of a curse. Like I wish I
Yeah.
could just do ketamine every day.
Well, it's funny, man. My wife knows, how much I appreciate you, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a podcast with Rob, and she goes, be careful. She's like, yeah, I just want you to be safe.
Yeah, I want you to be safe. That's okay. I mean, that's it. Oh, you know what's crazy too is like you wonder about how much, even at like as far as like collective conscious goes, like people have all these perspectives of you, and like so as you grow and change, there's gonna be people that haven't seen you in a while, and I wonder if those perspectives, like even they're just thinking, oh, Rob, he's just like hella drugged out or whatever.
Yeah,
like I wonder if that actually holds you back in some weird like spiritual sense. You need to actually like go back and like, show them like, no, I'm not really.
I'm
doing
not
that anymore.
that guy. I don't know what anybody thinks about me, but I don't think I want to know.
Yeah, and I don't need to prove any. Like,
Yeah.
and I still might be kind of that guy. It's actually kind of funny. I went to Andy Harder's party, and I hadn't been doing.
Yeah, I
drugs.
wanted to go to his place. I just couldn't go, but yeah.
Yeah, I kind of felt like an asshole fraud, but I'm just doing what I do. But it'd been like 2 months of like complete sobriety, and once again, it's not like I'm trying to do this. It's just the circumstances, and that's just what I wanted to do. So I get to the party, and then Chloe was talking about like, oh, I was wearing that hat actually, like the drug-free hat. But all the drugs I get are free. And she's like, you need a new brand, Rob. Like, this drug thing, like, I feel like it's outdated. And I'm like, well, actually, I haven't been doing drugs in a really long time. Da-da-da. And, like, I meant it. And she was like, oh, wow, I'm so proud of you. And then literally, like, an hour later, someone gave me, like, this giant bag of Coke for free. And I was like, well, fuck that. I'm definitely doing this.
Yeah.
And then, so then I felt like and then, of course, everyone knew I was high on Coke. So I felt like this, like, kind of like, oh, they're going to think I'm like a fraudulent liar. But honestly, I just do what I do. Like, I'll go sober for months because I want to, and then I'll get a free bag of Coke. I'm going to do the Coke, okay? It's just how that goes.
Yeah. Chloe. I do like her, but she's a little too focused on
Getting
like,
a boyfriend?
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah. She can't find a man. Yeah, there's some other women I follow on Instagram that are bitching about not
It's
being
funny.
kissed for 2 years. Also,
It's like, I wonder why. It could be
Yeah.
because you do stand up and you're annoying.
but she's so focused on like she's always talking about mainstream comedy and her opinions on it. And I was like, hey, at least you get booked at Laughs. And she's like, no, they haven't called me back. So.
I like Chloe too. That's why.
But she's one of the girls that like she goes into the edgy territory, you know.
Yeah. Here, so like that's why I'm going to speak on this, but I hope it's not like sounding negative because I do like her, but I do feel like I saw her post this thing and I'm like I completely disagree with her opinion. She was like, you can't sleep your way to the top. You have to be funny. And then she like brought up, I forget who, Whitney Cummings or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, Whitney Cummings obviously has to be funny. She can't just sleep her way to the top. I'm like, yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can sleep your way to the top
It's a
and
fast
be
track.
kind of funny. Like, so that the whole logic was just like so flawed and like just and it's okay, ladies. Like the fact that you can sleep at the top, you should be like so excited about that.
Not even sleeping, just being a female.
Yeah.
It helps you out. Like,
yeah, and you should be okay with that. It doesn't take like.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I don't know why that's like this is a bad thing. I don't know why we've twisted good things into bad things.
There's a girl that we both know who does comedy, and she hasn't been doing it that long. And I swear to God, she's on every show that ever gets announced in Seattle. So. She's semi funny, but I mean, part of it is a DEI, it's the inclusion and all that. And it's probably because she's one of the, I don't think we should go down that road. Ladies are funny.
Yeah.
Women are funny.
I actually only laugh at women comedians, but only because
I
hope they'll sleep with me.
Yes.
If I do.
And I laugh at gay comedians too, only because I
Same
want
thing.
them to want me, but not be able to get me.
JKT said the funniest thing in Hawaii. Well, we were all on acid, and it's really cool too. Is like there's this like meteor shower. I'm like, oh, I don't do drugs anymore. And I'm like, we're on acid in Hawaii. But anyways, there's a meteor shower, it's super cool. But Jake goes, he's talking about his gay friend, and he's like, yeah, man, like I'll just tease this my gay friend. He'll just like give me all these free drinks, but then he'll try to like bring me home. I'm like, no, and it's like this fun thing we have. And but Jake goes, this is the funniest thing I've ever heard out of Jake's mouth, and he did it on accident. He's like, there's nothing a gay guy loves more than teasing, or there's nothing a gay guy loves more than trying to turn a straight dude. And then he goes, and I'm like, we're all like, yeah, that's true. And then he's like, and there's nothing a straight dude loves more than teasing gay guys. And I was like, okay, and that maybe you.
He needs to bring that into his act.
Yeah.
You know, that would be. Imagine Jake E.T. just goes up on stage and be like, hey, these gays.
Yeah.
These gays are just taking over.
Jake's he's pretty good. Jake's like bi.
He's
He
definitely.
has he's got like a tattoo that says pleasure connoisseur like right above his dick.
Yeah. He's definitely been in some group situations, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like he's got that
He has-
orgy vibe.
Yeah, he has offered
Yes.
people to bartend. He'll like, I'll pay you to bartend
Yeah.
at the orgy. But
Yeah.
then I've never seen. So he's always talking big game, but I've never actually seen it play out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like he's living like I think
a double life?
I know I believe that these are real things, but I feel like they're like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I think that he's calmed down and he doesn't do these things anymore, but he's like still talking like he does.
Yeah. I mean, his wife looks like a very nice lady.
She's very
You know,
kind.
she doesn't look like the kind of lady that would be in an orgy.
Yeah, but apparently they owned a porn store
Yeah.
together.
Well,
so
hey.
who knows?
You know, you got
Looks
unknown
can
pleasures.
be deceiving.
And I was on the Diary of an Ex-Ho podcast.
Nice.
That's you should be on that because
Yeah.
I'm sure you got some good stories from the meth days.
Oh, those are great days.
Oh, yeah.
how was
Going in
that?
the other room, jerking off.
Yeah, I got so many jerk off
yeah.
stories. But does that make me a hoe or kind of just like a pervert?
I mean, like I'm not a hoe. You know, I
Yeah.
just talked about some stuff, but no, that lady, she's really nice. She chose me to be like on her team for the Tacoma voice competition, and so I got nothing bad to say about her. But yeah, the episode with Laura Lyons has 10,000 views.
yeah,
So tune into that if you guys want to hear about DPs.
And then tune into the Comics Who Should Be Dead present Random Hacks podcast.
I don't know that one. When is that?
It's not out yet. We're just,
Random Hacks.
Yeah.
Coming.
That's just that. We don't know if that's the name or one of the names of the episode. It's a very work in progress.
I started this page on Instagram called Seattle Comedy Podcast, where I just put like links to everybody's podcast, just because I found out there's so many of them. And
everyone's got one. It's insane.
Yeah. There's this guy Narin Van down Tacoma. Him and this guy Greg Beechler. They have a podcast called Roast Busters, and it's pretty good.
I like
it's
that.
probably I would say it's the top 3 for sure because there was one episode with Allison Fine where they just kept joking, and she was just missing all of the jokes.
She's like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I said something about it, and she got really mad and was like, "Untag me from that post." But they did one with.
Did you untag her?
No, I wasn't even part of it. They tagged it, but. No, I mean they're really funny guys. They've been around a long time. They did an episode with Willie Dean, the last one, and oh, dude, I was dying, man. It was like some of the Hell Yeah pods that were just like
Funny.
yeah, where you're just dying. I will say, there's almost nothing funnier to me than that episode where PJ and Jesse had no shirt.
Oh, that was
Dude,
that was recently.
that one, I was listening to it in the car, and I looked down, and I was like, oh, and
You're like, I had no idea.
yeah, I was like, holy, I was like, these guys, this is what the show should be. They could be like the junkie Burt Kreischers,
Yeah.
shirtless all the time, but it's not my show, so.
Yeah.
But
I'm just glad because I was on like literally the next episode. I'm glad. Actually, I'd take off my shirt now. I lost 13 pounds since Hawaii.
well, when I first met Femi, and he knew I could do some Photoshops, he asked me to do a Photoshop where we put your head on the body of Christian Bale from The Machinist. And I sent it to him, and he never did anything with it. So I don't know.
That's scary.
Yeah.
What's he doing with that?
Yeah, I know.
He might have done something we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, he printed that out and kept it. I don't
It's on his wall right
Yeah.
now in his jerk off booth.
Yeah. That.
I don't think Femi. I don't think he jerks off.
No, that's why he's so angry. He's just like, he's holding it in,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good. Much love for him. All that good stuff. Fuck.
Well, so yeah, I was saying what I wanted to be like, because you're the comedy simp.
Yeah.
So I want you to like list off like 5 of the most simpish things you've done in comedy.
Simpish things so far. Well, definitely.
From buying books to
Yeah,
if that even qualifies.
I don't know.
'Cause that's kind of that's
yeah.
just like a typical thing.
Well, so I definitely I designed some shirts for some of my friends. You know, for you, for PJ, David.
Oh, it's actually funny. And I don't. This isn't like. Don't take this either. Anyway, I'm not like. This isn't like a manipulative move or anything. But it's funny because there's this girl. I have the microaggression one, and this one girl is like, oh, she's like really like the shirt, and she's like, if you can come hang out with me, but you got to bring me, you got to get me one of those shirts. And it was like this girl had a crush on it, and then so I went to go buy one of the shirts.
Yeah.
And then it was taken down.
Yeah. It was, you know.
Ah.
Honestly, I was kind of I was not happy.
For
I was
sure.
not happy,
It's
and
all
I was
good.
like, you know, the thing is, it was never my intention, but I can see how it looks like this guy's just trying to buy friends, which is not the case. It's just like, it's my love language, man. Like, when I like somebody, I give them a gift. I prop them up.
Yeah.
I tell them, like,
Those are my
how
favorite
good
kinds
you
of
are.
friends.
Yeah.
The gift
You know?
givers. That's because Marie was talking about. She's like, I have every love language except for gift giver. I don't understand that one. I'm like, that's the only one.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, especially somebody like you who has nothing, you know? It's like, here's
I know,
here's a hat.
I need
made you
handouts.
I made you a hat with one of your signature jokes on it. Let's see, simpish. What else? I mean, you know, I give shout outs to people that I don't really know, you know? I mean, why not? I mean, it's just it's better to be positive than negative, you know? I just want people to know I'm not trying to get anything out of it because obviously it hasn't worked. You know?
Yeah. So you gave up on that.
Yeah, but like, you know, I don't know, man. What else is simpish? I said things that I've told people that they were funny when they're not.
Yeah,
and I don't feel
Who
like they're
hasn't
funny.
done that?
Sometimes
These are all just normal. You're basically just a regular comic.
I'm just a comedy nerd or
Yeah.
whatever, comedy dork. But yeah, this year, I don't know. I feel, you know, I feel like a lot of frustration the last few months, and a lot of like, why not me and this and that. But now I feel like I just kind of lost that, and just like, kind of like you, I'm like, whatever happens. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Just be happy, like, and then, you know, it's crazy. There's people, you have to like get some perspective. Like, there's this one chick who is just like, whoa, you were on like 3 podcasts in like 1 week, and I'm like, yeah, but they're all like dumb crap.
Yeah.
and then she's like, no.
Except for Mike Heath,
Yeah.
his is the best.
But then she's like, no, like she like looked at them. She's like, no, this is like so cool. Like one of them had like 30 views, and she's like, 30 views, like that's crazy, that's amazing. So it's just like you just have to have perspective, and then I do think too, if you like, it is kind of like if you're living in it, like so if you are like if you find the good stuff, or like, hey, I'm doing podcasts, I'm doing shows, even if they're not like the big stuff, like I do think that can turn into something, and if worst case scenario, it'll at least turn into not being suicidal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's cool to put stuff out. I mean, there's just people that just don't do anything.
Yeah, that's
there
what
are
I'm
these
saying.
there are these comics that they get booked and stuff, but you look at their Instagram, there's nothing. You know, there's
That's pointless.
yeah. I mean, to an extent. I mean, some people just want to do the live comedy, but like you know, we're fans of shit, and like when people that we like put stuff out, we like to watch it, we like to support it and stuff like that, and so. I don't know, man. It's part of it is to help me selfishly, but a lot of it is just like, hey, I like these people. Maybe find out a little bit more about them.
That's fine. It's a nuanced thing. Like it can go both ways.
Yeah.
Like I don't see you as some guy that's just doing stuff to get stuff. I mean, even if I think at the end of the day, everyone's doing a sort of some stuff to get stuff,
Yeah.
but like that's not a problem. But you're not like doing like you're not some like two-faced.
Yeah, I think more just trying to create my own world.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was in a band, I used to make the flyers and the T-shirts, and so it's the same thing. It's just, you know, and then I started doing it for other people, you know, and yeah, I think I'll still do that. I just not gonna do as much free stuff.
Yeah.
That I made flyers for people, And then they would say, "Can you change this?" And I'm like, "Okay." And it's like, "Can you change this?" And it's like, "Oh, dude,
Yeah,
like
no, I'm only
at
doing
this point, I made 3
How-
revisions on this free flyer for you. I
Yeah.
don't want to do this anymore." So
Yeah, no, I'm a believer too. If you're you're utilizing the free path, you have to like take what you get.
yeah, pretty much. I've done a lot of free shows, and thanks, Nick. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Hey,
The
Nick,
last one was for
I've-
charity. So
You get a drink ticket.
yeah,
Nick
I
gives
know
you
I
a
didn't
drink?
drink. I should have drank, but
Nick gives you a drink, and you can steal some of the toys.
all I gotta say is, man, Nick is such a big guy, and his new girlfriend is such a small lady. I just sounds like it's a messy thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I guess Nick's always had.
Plus
that. I'm
the
sure he's
birds.
always
the
had that problem.
birds.
Yeah, I know.
She has 2 birds. I just the sounds that
Dude.
come out of that apartment, I can only imagine.
She nice girl, but I hate birds, dude. I hate
No, I
birds
know,
almost as much as I hate my dog right now. But
I don't. Yeah, no
birds, they just like will sit there and just shit. You
Yeah,
know?
and
They just-
squawk.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't like so. Yeah, because she was like making some Instagram videos, and I couldn't pay attention to them because
Yeah.
they're like scrap, scrap, scrap,
Yeah.
scrap, and I'm like, how? I feel like you have to be like a little bit crazy to own birds because
Yeah.
they will drive you insane.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Even if you're start out normal when you get it, you're not gonna like. You're just constantly. It's like a person that has a smoke alarm going off because they don't change the batteries or something like that. You're gonna go fucking nuts.
Yeah. I knew this lady in Oregon that this older lady, and she had this fucking parrot that was like 50 years old, and it was a bitch, dude. Like, it would bite people. It would just fucking like scream and like it shit everywhere. It's just, yeah, I don't. Birds shouldn't be in cages, huh? I mean, I'm really besides your
we don't know. Some people don't even know if birds are real.
yeah, I mean, they could be drones.
Yeah.
Isn't there a thing? Isn't that like
Yeah.
a conspiracy that the birds?
When I went to Austin, Texas,
yeah.
Danny Trevor John like brings me. He like introduced me to these new people, and they were like tweakers. And then he's like, dude, guess what I learned? Birds aren't real. And they're like, yeah. And they're like high fiving each other. And yeah, but I'm like, because like I thought it was like a joke, like a meme.
Mm-hmm.
But there are actually people that believed the meme, and they're
Yeah.
like, birds aren't real. They're drones. They're like the government is like creating robot birds so they can spy on us. But I'm like, why would they do that? They have our phones. They have all the bugs that they put in our walls
Yeah.
already.
I mean, ever since Trump got shot, I've just been I love reading conspiracy stuff. I don't believe really 99% of it, but
I don't believe anything.
I
I don't
like-
even believe this conversation
Yeah.
is happening.
like Flat Earth is one of my favorites. That's a good one. You know, like, you know, what's the I mean, what's at the end, huh? How do you?
Well, they just had this guy.
Yeah.
He's a pastor with a lot of money, and he brought like 30 flat earthers to Antarctica so that they could watch the sun not set.
Yeah.
And so like a couple of them were actually like, well, none of the flat earthers said, oh, maybe we're wrong, but a couple of them were like, hey, I didn't believe in a 24-hour sun. I saw with my own eyes. I know some of you will think I'm like being paid by the CIA. That's fine, but I will say that I saw something I didn't believe exists, and now I have to question everything, and like I just don't know. So like maybe 2 or 3 of them did that, but like 30 of them were like, they're like, we don't for sure know what this could have been like a setup. We could be in some kind of like made up CIA simulation. Like so like
Yeah.
none of them. It's like you could bring them to space, and they won't. They'll be like, this is like a fake craft.
Yeah.
So it's if you want to believe that the Earth is flat, like you know.
It's the same thing as believing in heaven.
Yeah.
We all know it's not real. I don't know, the shooting thing, man, and it's like, as somebody who desires to be in the 1%, I'm disturbed at the amount of rich people that are getting shot at these
Yeah.
days. It is just
Well,
Trump
and then the rich people
twice.
no, but
you
it
know?
makes you question. Like I wanted to join you because I thought you people were like better than the hoi polloi. But like even the
Yeah.
Luigi guy, he's a rich guy.
Yeah.
He's the rich are shooting the rich. That's like black on black
Yeah,
crime.
no, it's just terrible. You know, we can't have that. I mean,
No.
who's going to control the populace? You know?
I can't have the rich people fighting each other. I need them on the same page so that they can like have us fighting each other.
Yeah, it's and all the people that are like behind this guy, this Luigi guy. I mean, I think it's all bullshit. I think that
I think it's funny, too,
I
that-
feel like there's something else.
I think it's
Yeah.
funny too that like the same people that are like against the death penalty,
Mm-hmm.
are like, oh, just because you committed a crime doesn't mean you should die. They're like, yay, kill the CEO. It's just like None of these people know. They don't have any beliefs.
Yeah.
They don't actually believe in anything. They're just emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why, and that's fine. The rich people need to use their emotions to make them richer, but instead they're killing each other. It's batshit crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and they wanna take us out, man. I don't like it. Yeah, that's got the Diddy stuff, LeBron. It's. What do you think's gonna happen with Diddy? What do you think?
I already said Trump's gonna pardon him.
We were the first ones. I think we talked about Diddy in like April.
Yeah,
and then it started to come out later.
I was like, you need to get. I was like, Diddy's fine because I don't like his music.
Yeah.
But I think they need to bring Diddy in and then bring out what's his
R.
name?
Kelly.
R. Kelly.
Bring out R. Kelly. You know, I mean,
I think that they should release.
Who
R.
else
Kelly.
is locked up? You know, I don't know all the rappers that are. It was Kodak Black.
Oh, you know what's cool? Young Thug. That
Yeah.
guy just got out. That guy. That was like a huge trial.
Yeah.
And like none of his dudes was ratting him. So like there's
He's
even there's this even scene where
he makes good music.
Yeah, there's this scene too where they asked like, so they're like interviewing or they're like whatever, the guy was on the stand. They're like, okay, so you were with Young Thug, like did he give money to like to little so and so, and then so the guy goes
Lil Jeezy Weezy.
yeah, so then the guy's like, did he give money to like Little Xan? He's like, hey Thug, did you give money to Little Xan? And he like literally like yells
Yeah, across the courtroom. Yeah. Dude.
So they had his back, like they were. And then there was one guy who just kept changing his story. He's like, yeah, I'm only saying this because the police told me that if I didn't say it, they would arrest me.
Who do you think is like? Who's the most hardcore person in hip hop? Is it Gucci Mane?
No,
is
Gucci
it
Mane.
Young Thug?
Gucci Mane is not hardcore at all. He's
Yeah.
got a song called like "Hurt People, Hurt People."
The Game. Remember, he was pretty. He was pretty
There's
hardcore. for a while.
E40. He's the hardest.
E40.
He stays solid to the core.
Well, I mean, yeah, he still drinks Carlos Rossi, but you know.
Yeah.
I remember a while he had that not hypnotic. What was that? He had Slurricane. He had that Slurricane drink for a while. Now it's gone. Very disappointed. Hip hop feels like it's kind of on the decline.
Oh, I don't even
know?
like
I
it
don't know.
anymore.
So.
I don't even like No Jumper
Yeah.
at all anymore. Remember
Oh
when
yeah, that guy.
I was like, Adam 22, he's all right. Now the guy's just a
Yeah.
total joke. That's the thing, too. Once again, it's kind of like back to full circle. And it doesn't matter if it's a politician or an elite guy. Like, as people get more fame and more notoriety, they all turn into shit fucks.
It kind of
You
true.
don't want to become famous.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless you want to be like pimping your wife out and like having her fuck some black dude and like joking and then saying like you're gonna suck dick on your next stream or whatever. 'Cause that's what they do now.
Yeah, I don't think she likes black dudes.
Well, enough money she
Yeah.
will.
Enough money.
If I
no.
could, yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. So 2025, man.
Yeah, this is the year.
Let's hold on. Let's go back to Hawaii. Was that the only trip you took last year?
I think so. I
Yeah.
remember like because this summer was kind of lame. I remember I just sort of like the summer came and went. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, because like I remember the summer before I went on like 5 vacations in 2023. But yeah, Hawaii.
Yeah, I did Austin. I remember that.
Yeah, Hawaii was 1 year after Austin. So
You went to LA for that movie premiere.
Oh,
I remember
God,
that too.
That
Yeah.
was a nightmare.
Yeah. I don't even remember the name of the movie, but
I don't either.
this guy didn't get his
I
SAG
don't
card.
remember
I'm
the
really
name of the movie
disappointed.
either.
No SAG card, you know. But he's got the card to the streets.
Yeah, I got my dad's credit card.
Where's Justin Bieber at these days, man? I haven't heard from him in a minute.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
I think,
I'm very disturbed, you know, that we.
I think didn't he get because he got raped? They're all in hiding.
That's I mean,
They're
I
all
feel
either rapists or rapies.
I feel like the longer Justin is hiding, the more true the stories
Yeah.
are gonna be. Like with Steve Harvey and
if Justin comes out
Yeah.
and sees his shadow, they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't see his shadow, they all fucked him.
He gave him herpes, and then he got Bell's palsy in his
Yeah,
face, and
that was sad.
yeah, poor Justin. You know, but you know, it is what it is. You know, you got to move on.
Hollywood,
Yeah.
baby.
that's
Show
the
business.
circle of life. I hear that Hollywood is now Vegas is becoming the new Hollywood. Warner Brothers.
No matter where you go, they're gonna be fucking kids.
Yeah. Oh, definitely in Vegas, I would think,
Yeah.
right? There's probably all these hidden tunnels under, you know,
But they're not
the
Jew
Mirage.
tunnels.
And
I miss the Jew
No.
tunnels.
There are no. Are there any Jews in Vegas? Probably not.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, well, but no tunnels.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just if there's money there, there's
Yes.
Jews there. That's all.
I think it's like
I
you
don't
know,
know,
it feels like it's more like Middle Eastern, like oil tycoons.
But it's
and
probably
stuff
a Middle
that are-
Eastern
yeah,
Jew.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Jews are okay.
Yeah.
The Jews are like they're like a disease. They spread.
Well, I would. I mean, I was very uneducated about this whole Israel-Palestine thing. So
I think we all are.
So I went to what any.
Did you go to Reddit?
I went to ChatGPT.
Okay,
and I
that's
said,
better.
"What's the deal?" I went to Chat Seinfeld and I said, "What's the deal with Israel and Palestine?" And I mean, look, it's probably more complicated than this, but basically, Palestinians got kicked out and they want back in. And there's
no,
like
so-
there's like
Yeah.
a bunch of temples
World
and
War II.
buildings, and they want to get it. They want to go back in there and be part of it,
Yeah.
and they can't.
No, so that's what's okay. So here's what's so fucked up, man. Because I went to a Jewish rehab, and like I remember one of the rabbis brought this up, and it like was really controversial. But he's like, Hashem, which is what they call God. He's like, good comes from everything, even the worst things. Like even because of Hitler, we got Israel because that's what happened. There was
Yeah.
after World War II. They had to put the Jews. They gave them back. He's like, we got our promised land because of Hitler, and then everyone's like, whoa,
What?
but because like Israel, they got Israel after World War II, and it was all because of that.
Yeah.
So, but they had to kick the so they're literally like, we'll take they were like, we'll take there, and they had to kick out the Palestinians or
Yeah.
and then they also treat them like shit, yada yada yada. But anyways, I think it's a great, hilarious story.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
basically-
time
yeah.
for the ages. It's a tale. It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah, I love Israel
Yeah.
and Palestine.
I think it would be a good Disney movie. I think
Yeah, like Pocahontas.
Disney's Israel.
Yeah.
Or what if there was like a love story? between-
Disney would side with Palestine.
Probably.
Well,
yeah.
no, they've always been anti-Semitic, and now that's pretty a woke thing to
Yeah.
do, and they're very woke. So
I will say I am disturbed though. Like Israel, they might have done some bad things, but Dino Dad has nothing to do with this.
no,
So I'm tired of people ragging on Dino Dad.
are they?
Yeah.
Funny.
Just like in general. Not the Dino Dads, the generalized Dino Dads of the United States.
Not the actual Dino Dad.
But I think, look, that land, is it even that great? It looks like, honestly, like,
I don't know, but they kiss it when they land.
yeah.
Jews will literally get off the plane and kiss the damn ground.
Yeah. Why can't look, if I was Palestinian, I would say, forget this, we're going to America. Let's just
Yeah.
take Nevada. Like there's warm climate. Lake Tahoe's not that far. We got Vegas down below. There's lots of room in Nevada.
Or even like somewhere in the
Gambling.
South. No, I would go to the South, even though there's a bit of racism there.
Yeah.
The way the South probably treats their women more like.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Like my sister lives
But
in
then
Virginia.
again, the Hawk Tua girl
Yeah.
is from the South, and
Yeah,
Hawk Tua.
man, she.
That went fast.
Yeah, that was
That was a rise and fall, baby.
Now it's the I don't know if you know the Costco guys. They're the next thing that's going on right now.
I don't even know.
Double chocolate chunk cookies.
No, I
There's
don't-
this
I'm
little,
not watching that.
There's this little
That
kid
already
named
sounds
the
terrible.
Rizzler. He's this
Yeah,
little
I know
fat
the Rizzler.
kid.
I know the
Yeah,
Rizzler.
so that's part of it, right? So they rate Costco food.
Okay.
And it's like, do you give it a boom or
Yeah, this sounds awful.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I hate
it
the
is.
internet.
It's worse than Hawk Tua. It is like the
Hawk Tua,
decline
I don't
of
know how
Western
Hawk Tua-
civilization.
Hawk Tua is just annoying. Just her
Yeah.
voice. I don't like her accent.
I don't like that she got a podcast. Like I
Yeah.
think that,
But her
especially if
accent
it's
was
more
just so
successful
annoying.
than this one.
Her
But
yeah. Oh
yeah.
well, yeah, of course. We
But-
should start a crypto.
yeah, a crypto podcast.
Simp.
Yeah,
The simp coin.
The simp coin. Yeah, it's it's what you pay all of your the girls on Twitch, the e-girls. The simp coins.
Yeah, it actually would work.
But yeah, man. Well, we've actually been talking for an hour already.
Okay, good because I have to piss. So.
I actually do too, but yeah. So I want to just say again, 2025. We have a new Rob.
Hawk Tua, new Hawk Rob. Hawk
I hope that
Rock. Cock.
I hope with this year, we can all come together, make some good comedy.
Yeah.
Have some fun. guys that used to hang out with. Hope we can see them again sometime, and encourage everybody to come down to Tacoma because there's a lot of cool stuff going down there. I mean, I just have to say Tacoma is the only club that asked me to perform there, even though they didn't pay me. It's still cool that they asked me.
Yeah.
So and I like it. I like that club. I got to meet Louis J. Gomez.
Cool.
What are you
complaining about?
Saw
bitch?
Greg Fitzsimmons. So things are cool. If you want to keep doing comedy, man, come down there. There's some cool people down there that are doing stuff that wouldn't be allowed at the Shanghai Room.
Yeah.
So
I know where I'll be going.
Nick Cody is not the #1 most appearances on this show. It's you again.
I gotta keep that up.
So I'd say come back. Yeah, man. Anytime you want to talk about anything, just hit me up and we'll do this. So if you want to follow Rob, Rich Homie
Life Coach, or Rob Conroy Inc.
Rob Conroy _Inc.
And check out the
Traumedy Heels.
Check out the random hacks.
It's okay. Oh, dude. One last thing. Ryan Padilla got really mad at me because I said a joke about him not doing stand-up comedy. And Ron.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
We'll call him back later.
Yeah, he's like, I ought to punch you in the dick for that. And things haven't been the same with me and Ryan, but shout out to Ryan. So.
Right.
Love you, buddy.
Gotta piss.
We're going to piss, and happy
everybody.
2025. And thanks, Rob.
Comedy Seal, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist. Spitting fire.